All right, well, there are real consequences to actors when they are charged with crimes.
Justin Baldoni has reportedly been dropped from his talent agency, WME.
Blake Lively alleging that he created an unhealthy and uncomfortable work environment during the film's production.
So Justin Baldoni has been dropped by WME. He's been a client of theirs, and oddly enough, Blake Lively is still a client of WME.
Justin's talent agency, WME, has dropped the actor as a client following Blake's legal complaint.
Talent agency made that decision recently, at least in part to the complaint his It Ends With Us co-star Blake Lively filed not that long ago. This is according to Deadline.
The allegation is made in a legal complaint filed by Blake against her former co-star and director on the film.
Now, the complaint, which is a precursor to the lawsuit, comes months after rumors of an on-set feud plagued the film's August release. This was released in August of 2024. Lively accuses Baldoni of sexual harassment and causing her severe emotional distress, among other claims.
Blake Lively accuses Justin Baldoni of weight-shaming her on the set of It Ends With Us.
Now, funny enough, it is Baldoni's legal team that is making the statement that she's just creating all of this as a way to change her narrative about her negative publicity that she's had, and also, take the eyes off of the negative PR that she's been reportedly having since the release of this film. Lively is still represented by WME, and Baldoni's team did not immediately respond to Page Six after they had published that for comment. Now, she complained, and all of her complaints were obtained by Page Six. She outlines the specific allegations against Baldoni, who starred in, produced in, and directed the film. So that's got to be pretty odd. I can't imagine what it must have been like for her to have been, if these allegations and accusations are true, then it would be very difficult for you as an actress in a film to be sexually harassed by the person who's producing it, starring in it, and directing in it, and he's the lead. I mean, I've watched this, a lot of intimate moments. It's a film about domestic abuse. There are a lot of close encounters. I mean, they're basically in it together. They're across from each other most of the time. This complaint alleges that Jane the Virgin alum improvised kissing scenes and other physically intimate moments in the movie, adding gratuitous sexual content and often made inappropriate comments that were sexual in nature. The complaint also alleges that Baldoni would enter a Lively trailer unannounced while she was undressed, and talk about his past pornographic addictions and discussing his sexual conquest in front of Lively and other people. Now, when you are working very closely with people, and depending on the nature of your relationship, and you're all adults, right? The movie is about domestic violence. The movie is about, is very sexual in nature. There's nudity in it. And, you get to know each other on a personal level. Like, what coworkers, especially in film and entertainment, do not talk about relationships or past things or sex or whatever. So I'm not saying that's right. And I just know I've worked in the entertainment industry. I work in the industry. So I know people often talk about who they've slept with and who's doing what and whatever. This is part of the harassment suit. So who knows if that is something that's going to be looked at as intentional or deemed as sexual harassment. Baldoni's lawyer, Brian Friedman, addresses Lively's complaints and says that it's completely false, outrageous, and intentionally salacious because she wants to fix her negative reputation around the film, rehash the narrative regarding the production of the film, because post-production, even on the promotion of it, there was complaints at the time, if you can recall, we even talked about it, how people were saying Blake Lively was more concerned about her outfit and wearing roses and being feminine versus the real strong message about domestic abuse and DV, and not really about the purpose of the film. In a statement to Page Six, Baldoni's lawyer, Brian Friedman, addressed those complaints as being, again, completely false. they think that she's just making it up so that, you know, people can feel sorry for her and they can stop saying that she's the insensitive one. Lively stated, "I hope that my legal actions pull back the curtain on these sinister retaliatory tactics to harm people who speak up about misconduct and helps protect others who may be targeted." So she's really saying that these things did happen. They seriously impacted her. It's cited that she has experienced extreme emotional trauma because of it. And, you know, it's reported on other sides with regards to her behavior that she would complain or threaten to not go to work. Threatened to, you know, not do certain things in the film if her demands were not met. The narrative that people were painting about Blake Lively is that she was difficult to work with, that it was all about her, whereas she now, I mean, I wouldn't go to work either, or I would threaten to not go to work if I were in fact being harassed. And if, in fact, the producer, director, and co-star is actually making me feel uncomfortable, well, I would threaten not to go to work either, or I just wouldn't go. But it's interesting how we're hearing about all of this now, and that she filed the complaint post-production of the film, post-completion, and post-negative, I guess, commentary and negative perspective on her and her character. So what do you guys think? What do you believe? Which story are you thinking about? As far as Baldoni is concerned, there was a real impact. He was dropped by his talent agency. She still remains represented. So we would love to hear your thoughts on this matter.